ready, Freddie? Okay.
After the manhunt of John Wilkes Booth, on the tragic day of April 14th, 1865, John Wilkes Booth assassinated Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. John Wilkes Booth was a famous actor, born May 10th, 1838. After Booth killed Lincoln, he had a getaway horse ready for him to run. Before dawn, Booth had stopped at Dr. Samuel Mudd's. He stated that the injury in his leg was caused by a fall from the horse. Then when people found out that John Wilkes Booth was the one that killed the beloved president, there was a 12-day manhunt to find him. It was the greatest manhunt of all time. It was said that Booth wanted to assassinate Lincoln because Booth thought that he was a terrible person that didn't deserve to live. The assassination occurred 5 days after commander of the Confederate Army of North Virginia, General Robert E. Lee, surrendered to Lieutenant General Ulysses S. Grant and the Union Army of Potomac, ending the American Civil War. John Wilkes Booth also was the first person to ever carry out a successful plan to kill an American president, although an unsuccessful plan was attempted on Andrew Jackson 30 years before. Although the murder of Abraham Lincoln was planned and carried out by John Wilkes Booth, it was all part of an even bigger conspiracy in a bid to revive the Confederate cause. Booth's co-conspirators were Lewis Powell, David Harold, and George Atzerodt. Lewis Powell and David Harold were assigned to kill Secretary of State William H. Seward. George Atzerodt assigned to go after the life of Vice President Andrew Jackson. By simultaneously eliminating the top 3 people in the administration, Booth and his co-conspirators hoped to sever the community of the United States government. John Wilkes Booth shot the beloved President Abraham Lincoln while he and his wife Mary Todd Lincoln were watching the play Our American Cousin at the Ford Theater in Washington, D.C. The President of the United States died the very next morning. The rest of the conspirators' plot had failed. Wilkes was the only successful plan. Powell and Harold only managed to win the Secretary of State William H. Seward. George Atzerodt lost the nerve to murder Vice President Andrew Jackson. Atzerodt spent the entire evening drinking, but never managed to go after the life of Andrew Jackson. Now, after they found that it shot John Wilkes Booth and he died of paralysis, his remains were shipped by boat to Washington Navy Yard to be identified as John Wilkes Booth by more than 10 people that said the body was indeed Booth's. But what convinced people was a tattoo of the letters JWB and scarred on the back. Later, when the family wanted to put John Wilkes Booth's body to rest, they went through the same process to make sure the body was Booth's. Now John Wilkes Booth's body is at rest in an unmarked plot in the family plot in Baltimore Green Mountain Cemetery.